Welcome to the George William Hopper Law Library Virtual Library Tour on Administrative Materials and Introduction. Let's review the sources of law. Remember that all three branches of government at state and federal levels can produce primary law. The legislative branch writes and passes acts. These are found in codes or statutes. Some examples are the United States Code, statutes at large, and Wyoming statutes annotated. The judicial branch writes decisions that have binding or persuasive precedents for future cases. These decisions are published in reporters such as the Supreme Court Reporter or the Pacific Reporter. The executive branch promulgates rules and regulations that are necessary to enforce statutes. Additionally, the President issues executive orders and proclamations. The executive branch oversees the administrative agencies. At the federal level, these agencies are the departments and the sections within those departments that make up the President's cabinet, such as the Departments of Education, Justice, and the Treasury. There are also independent agencies designated by Congress to be independent of the executive branch. They are run by commissioners nominated by the President and approved by Congress for a set term. Examples of independent agencies are the Food and Drug Administration and the Securities and Exchange Commission. At the state level in Wyoming, executive agencies include the Department of Family Services, the Governor's Office, and the Game and Fish Commission. These agencies promulgate rules and regulations necessary to enforce state statutes. Administrative agencies get their authority to write regulations from Congress. When Congress passes a statute that will require oversight by an agency, it will include a section that gives the appropriate agency the authority to write regulations to assist in enforcing the statute. This is called an enabling statute. For example, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is governed by various administrative rules and acts of Congress, including the Endangered Species Act, the Fish and Wildlife Coordination Act of 1958, the Migratory Bird Treaty Act, and the National Environmental Policy Act of 1969. As an example of an enabling statute, Title 16, Section 1535 of the U.S. Code, part of the Endangered Species Act, authorizes the Secretary of the Interior to promulgate regulations necessary to the administration of this act. The first print publication of agency regulations is the Federal Register. These daily publications include proposed regulations awaiting public comment, new regulations, new changes to regulations in force, and presidential orders and proclamations. Federal agency regulations are codified and accumulated each year into the Code of Federal Regulations. Codified, remember, indicates that they have been organized into a subject schema. In the instance of the CFRs, they are grouped by the responsible agencies and then organized by subject. These are the current regulations in force. A full set of the CFR consists of approximately 200 volumes. The approximately 200 volumes are revised at least once a year on a quarterly basis as follows. Titles 1 through 16 as of January 1st, Titles 17 through 27 as of April 1st, Titles 28 through 41 as of July 1st, and Titles 42 through 50 as of October 1st. The revision date of each volume is printed on the cover and at the top of every even-numbered page. Each year's cover is a different color for quick reference. A list of CFR sections affected, also called LSA, lists proposed, new, and amended federal regulations that have been published in the Federal Register since the most recent revision date of a Code of Federal Regulations title. The LSA is issued monthly. Since the Federal Register is the first place where proposed, new, or amended regulations are published, you may need to search it as well in order to ensure that you have the most current regulation.